This is going to be really short. I'm not going to talk very long about this. Um, I will preface I am a quote unquote an AMD fanboy. Um, so coming from an AMD fanboy standpoint, where does this lead today? I have a 3600X. As far as gaming, the only thing I would buy a better processor for is if I start doing more stuff with productivity, my computer. Like I don't for gaming, I don't need this right now. So none of this really applies to me. Now they don't have prices here. The 5600X was 300, 5800X I believe is 450, and this is 650, 5900X. Don't quote me on those, but somewhere along. I know that this is 300, and I know the high end one that's not here, the 5950X, is 800, I believe it's 799 MSRP. What they showed, combining the cache together and reducing latency, it's gonna be great for gaming. If you're buying a processor that's only for gaming, yeah, 5600X on sale will be great. I think it should have been 250 for 5600X. Then I can say, hey, 5600X is actually getting close to a really good deal. It's also, they don't come with the 5800X don't come with stock coolers. I don't know how big that's going to be. I'll talk about that in a second. So what am I not happy about? You know what? Let me talk about the fans first, the stock coolers. I don't think coolers were in the 58 and 5900X because I think that AMD really looked and saw that they would have to spend a lot of money to have this cooler that they could comfortably put in the same box that would be cooling a 59 5800X. I don't think that they saw that. I think they saw that they would need to craft a much better cooler than what they already have at stock, and they didn't want to put something that they're already selling for a value, not in stock coolers. So I think that they looked at this and just went, most people don't even like the stock coolers anyway. People complain about the stock coolers all the time, so I don't know why it's a big deal. If you don't, if you want them to not do stuff, then don't complain about the stock coolers. It's a stock cooler. They give you a cooler for free. It's your choice whether or not to use it. I don't think they put one in here because I don't think they'd be able to comfortably say whatever they would actually allow in the box without increasing the price it would take to make a new cooler that would actually support this one. I don't think there's anything that they have that would currently support these comfortably. That's not already the like for the price that they are, you know, something that's already a stock air cooler around that price of $10 more would be a much better option than that stock one anyway. It's not like it wouldn't be nice, but I think by them putting a stock cooler in there, that's them accepting, hey, this is suitable for cooling what's inside the box, and they're not included on the 5800 on the Ryzen 7 and up. So that's why I think they're not cooling. I don't think they're chintzing out. I think that they're probably afraid of putting one in there that's not going to actually cool properly the CPU. So what am I not really happy about? I don't like the distance for that 8 core. The distance for the 12 core. That 12 core is actually the only one that's a real good deal. Really worth it, the value of what it is compared to what you can already get now compared to everything else. I think they should have just had the 5700X as an 8 core and then just made the 5800X a 10 core. I don't understand why the 37 and the 3800X are both 8 cores. Like, to me, like as a marketing standpoint, I don't understand because they don't have a 10 core in there, and there's also they could just slightly increase the performance of the 5800 by putting it as a 10 core 20 thread processor while having the 5700X essentially what the 5800X is. Maybe it's cut down a little bit. Or I don't know. I think that 5600X should have been 250. 57 should have been 350. 450, even 500 if they wanted, and then 650, and then they can do 750 or 800 for the 5950X. That's a price increase, but on the lower end, it's a little more realistic. Now, maybe the 5600 isn't going to have such a difference in performance from the 5600X. It's only going to be $50 cheaper. Then you're right at that 250 mark for a 6 core. It's not necessary. It's not 100% necessary. I know that there's big gains. This is good. It's good the gains that it actually gets. people were expecting more. These are good gains for a next generation leap, especially the fact that TDP is the same. They lowered the latency. So, is this necessary for next gen gaming? No, because what's in a PS5 is a Zen 2. Isn't it Zen 2 Plus? Is it Zen 2? Sure. Whatever, like a 3800X. That's what's in the PS5, not the 5800X. It's not that 8 core. It's not in there. So if you want to get something and be like, oh, what about something that's around there? You'll be fine. You'll be fine there. Get a motherboard that will support this for the future. So in a year or two, then you can get the one that has lower latency. You get it on a deal, then you can get it then. But is this something you should be rushing out for? Not really, unless you want the best of the best or need the best of the best, and that want is not going to bankrupt you. Go ahead, totally fine. Support AMD, whatever. Be vocal about the price. I don't think these are great prices, especially because it doesn't really lower the last gen, which it should, so that they will completely take out Intel. But this kind of the price range that these are at, and the lack of a cheaper 8-core, it's going to kind of keep Intel not competitive, but alive. So they might actually keep them competitive, because isn't it the 10700K? It's like 279. So, but then you have to have Intel. You have to have a motherboard, probably more expensive. All minutia bullshit. So there you go. It's all right. This stuff about RDNA 2, I'm not going to say anything about that until we actually get their release. I have no idea what the fuck model they were using. They call it Big Navi, but if you go back to what she says, she's said that we, the internet, have dubbed this launch Big Navi. This is what, like, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what SKU it is. They've released nothing. They showed a benchmark. It was for 4K. It's not going to be the same TDP, probably not the same price anyway. It's so many factors. They're not directly comparable. We'll find out more on the 28th. Yeah, so if you were impressed or you weren't impressed by this showcase that they had today, leave a like and a subscribe and leave a comment too, whether you liked it or not, because we're all about equality here.